Good day, Paul Harvey fans. In times when Paul Harvey was too sick to broadcast, he had the main writer of his The Rest of the Story series to stand in his place. The man Paul Harvey trusted unendingly and whom he allowed to record his series was his only child, Paul Harvey Jr. This is one of those stories. In the many years that The Rest of the Story was broadcast, Paul Harvey and sometimes Paul Harvey Jr. shared people and moments that have shaped the world we live in, for better or worse. As I promise not to give anything away in the rest of the story, here's Paul Harvey Jr.
Now, the rest of the story. Even as a young man taking his first steps on the road to infamy, Adolphe had enemies. In fact, there was a full-fledged organized society with a president and a secretary and a treasurer, an alliance with branches in several countries, the avowed purpose of which was to discredit Adolphe. And at least once that we know of, they tried to kill him. This group eventually spread throughout Europe. They even had a legal advisor. Adolphe was growing too powerful, they reasoned, and he must be stopped while there was still time. Now, Adolphe's friends warned him of the group's ultimate intention, that if Adolphe could not be publicly defamed, he would have to be eliminated. But Adolphe, certain that his ever-widening influence would insulate him from harm, laughed at the suggestion. Surely if his enemies wished to assassinate him, he reasoned, they would have seized on numerous past opportunities. But then one winter, Adolphe received a letter requesting his distinguished presence at a local concert. And again his comrades warned him of the potential danger. Adolphe didn't know who lurked behind that letter, they insisted, and he must ignore their flattery or risk being led into a trap. Yet with the arrogant temper for which he was already infamous, Adolphe rejected the apprehensions of his friends and played straight into the hands of his enemies. On the appointed evening, Adolphe, with no guards accompanying him, arrived at the specified downtown address. He paid the cabbie, proceeded to the front door of the building, where he was greeted by an elderly woman. No danger there, he thought. Second floor, the woman said. Adolphe climbed the dimly lit staircase, was met by a husky gentleman on the landing. With polite uneasiness, Adolphe inquired as to where the concert was being held. The man asked Adolphe to follow him. The room to which he was shown was nearly devoid of furnishings and was almost completely dark, and yet there was another man waiting, and now Adolphe knew. He demanded to be released immediately. The men laughed. Adolphe picked up a chair, threatened to smash the window if he were not let go at once, but the men moved toward him. So in desperation, Adolphe hurled the chair into the window glass. From the street below came the voice of a passing policeman. "What's going on up there?" And the would-be assassins fled. And because Adolphe escaped that night, a world would never be the same. The world of music. Because the infamous Adolphe, whose most perilous hour you've just relived, was not the infamous Adolphe you know. This Adolphe was an inventor, a maker of musical instruments. That's right. And his enemies, who had formed an alliance throughout Europe, were rival instrument makers. You see, the ill-tempered innovator who once nearly paid for his genius with his own life, he was Adolphe Sax. And the instrument he invented in the 1840s, the ill wind some believed was worth murdering to silence, was the saxophone. Only now you know the rest.
Can you imagine what music would have been like had assassins killed Adolphe Sax and the world had never known of the saxophone? Imagine all the bands through the years that have used saxophones in their music. But here's another thought to ponder. Imagine how many inventions never came to fruition because their would-be inventors lost their lives before they could create their world-changing invention. I'm Brad Dison. Thanks for watching.